So today I want to talk about the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th because Friday the 13th, like you guys know, is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. So obviously knowing that something is one of your favorites, you're very curious to see how it's going to adapt into a modern setting. And when it comes to remakes as a whole, I'm very 50-50 on them. I either like them or I don't like them. And trust me, there's going to be a couple other movies that I talk about in the near future when it comes to exactly why I didn't like those films. But we'll save that for another day. But I will say when it comes to the remake of Friday the 13th, I actually didn't mind this one. I actually had some fun with it. Not saying that I prefer it over other Friday the 13th films because that's not what I'm here to do today. But I did have fun with it when it came to what this movie brought to the table to make it feel different when it comes to how Friday the 13th would work in a modern setting. So that's what I'm going to dive in today. I'm going to be explaining why I don't mind the remake when it comes to certain things that took place in this film that really caught my eye. So this should be fun. Without further ado, let's just dive into this conversation so I can tell you guys exactly how I feel about this film. So one of the biggest reasons I appreciate the 2009 remake is how it portrays Jason Voorhees. Because in the original films, Jason is iconic, like always, when it comes to his hockey mask and his machete. But his slow, almost mechanical movements can feel dated. Because in this version, played by Mears, Jason is faster, more calculating, and pretty intimidating. And he feels like a real threat. Someone who could outsmart and overpower his victims, which makes him terrifying in a modern context. What I particularly like is how the remake gives Jason a slight sense of personality without overcomplicating him. He's depicted as a survivalist, using things like traps, a bow and arrow, and even underground tunnels to protect what he sees as his territory. This approach makes him more than just a mindless killer. He's defending Crystal Lake in his own twisted way. I know some fans prefer the silent, unstoppable Jason, not saying anything's wrong with that because trust me, I love that version of Jason, but I think what they did here when it comes to the variant of Jason in this movie added depth to make him feel a little compelling. And the remake also handles Jason's backstory well. It includes brief flashbacks to his mother and his childhood, just enough to remind us why he's driven to kill without slowing down the story. And I appreciate that balance. It respects the audience's knowledge of the franchise while providing context for newcomers. And these moments never feel forced or overly dramatic. And for me, this updated Jason fits the remake's goal of delivering a fast-paced, intense horror film. He's not meant to replace the original Jason because trust me, he'll never be replaced, but to offer a fresh take for a new generation. That's what this one's doing. And I find this version engaging because it keeps the core of what makes Jason scary while adapting him into a modern sensibility. It's a bold choice, and I honestly think it works. Another reason I don't mind the remake is its relentless energy and commitment to the slasher genre. Because from the opening scene, the film sets a brisk pace, diving straight into the action with Jason's kills. Unlike some horror movies that spend too much time on setup, this one keeps moving, delivering the tension and excitement I expect from a Friday the 13th film. It's straightforward and focused, which I find interesting. The remake also captures a distinct visual style that suits its era. It has a polished cinematic look with dynamic camera work and a strong soundtrack, giving it a modern edge. While the original films had a gritty, low-budget charm, this version uses higher production values to enhance the horror. When it comes to the lighting, editing, and sound design, they all work together to create a thrilling atmosphere that pulls me in. The characters, I'll admit, are not deeply developed. They fit familiar roles when it comes to the confident leader, the resourceful survivor, the reckless partier, but that's deliberate. In a slasher film, the focus is on the scares and the body count, not complex character arcs when it comes to certain films. And I'm fine with that because the movie knows its strengths and plays to them, keeping the spotlight on Jason and the chaos he brings. And what makes this pacing and atmosphere stand out is how they keep me engaged. The kills are varied and intense, and the tension builds steadily, with movements that generally startle. Even knowing Jason will appear, I found myself on edge during certain scenes. That ability to deliver consistent thrills is why I enjoy the remake. It's a fun, high-energy ride from start to finish. And the setting of Crystal Lake in the remake is another aspect I really enjoy. The film transforms the camp into a vivid, immersive environment with dense forests, a misty lake, and abandoned structures, compared to some of the earlier films where budget constraints limited the scope. This version feels expansive and detailed, and the visuals create a sense of place that draws me into the story. What I find especially effective is how Crystal Lake feels like Jason's territory. The remake introduces underground tunnels and rigged traps, showing that Jason has complete control over the area. This makes the character's presence feel like an intrusion, heightening the stakes of every encounter. It's a subtle detail, but it adds to the horror by making Jason's dominance clear. The cinematography enhances the setting beautifully. Night scenes use shadows and muted light to create an eerie mood, while daytime shots of the lake have a deceptive calm that contrasts with the violence. One standout moment is when Jason's silhouette is framed against a fiery backdrop. It's striking and memorable, and these visual choices make Crystal Lake feel alive and integral to the film. For me, this reimagined Crystal Lake is a highlight of the remake. It pays homage to the original summer camp roots while giving it a darker, more textured feel. The setting isn't just a backdrop, it's a key part of what makes the film unsettling. When I watch Jason stalking through these woods, I'm fully invested in the world the movie creates. So those are my thoughts on the Friday the 13th remake when it comes to a couple things that I wanted to say about this film. I'm not saying that this film is perfect or anything like that, but I just had fun with it. I thought it was cool for what it was, and I honestly didn't mind it. Like, trust me, I'm gonna say this again in the future. When it comes to remakes, I'm not the biggest fans of them. If they do it right, I'll come out and say they did. If they don't, I'll obviously tell you. But with this one, I didn't mind it as much because I liked how it tried to be different while also, giving us things that we were familiar with the Friday the 13th franchise, and that's something that I could really appreciate with this film. But now I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I'm very curious to hear how you guys feel about this film. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Just let me know all of your thoughts surrounding this in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on my social media and see what I do outside of YouTube, be sure to check out my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links are down in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. If you guys want to join my Discord server so we can talk more about video games, horror, cartoons, TV shows, and movies, or anything else, be sure to click on the link pinned in the comment section down below so you guys have the opportunity to talk to me and other people. It would be super awesome to meet all of you guys, so if you're interested, be sure to click to join the Discord server. Other than that, be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I drop a video on the channel. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.